Hey there, people. So, today is Ukrainian Independence Day, and I thought that would mean that there'd be a lot of people in the streets, and I could do some busking, but I've been walking around and the streets are pretty much dead. Um, so I guess people are like spending it with their families and stuff, which is cool. So I've come out here to Stritsky Park. It's very chilled. There's like a nice little lake down there with some ducks and whatnot, so maybe I'll get some pictures of those for you. And like doing these vlogs, I'm quite enjoying the storytelling aspect of it. So I've got a lot of stories from my travels, and like I'll give you some choices of maybe what you want to hear next. But for now, I thought I'd tell you one of the scarier stories of my travels. And this is something that to this day I still don't have an explanation for. I can't tell you, like, at the end of it, I can't tell you what the fuck it was. But I was traveling with my good friend Luke, and we'd just done a tour of the UK. We'd been up to Scotland, went to Glasgow and Edinburgh, did some parties there, and we'd been to one of the Gypsy Carrot events. Shout out to Gypsy Carrot, fucking love you guys. And so we flew to Portugal, and then we're hitchhiking to Morocco to go spend the winter there to escape from the cold. And as we're coming through Seville, we see this huge abandoned building, and it's ginormous, and we're in no rush, so we're like, fuck it, let's go and explore this place. So we got our big bags, we scale the wall, and we jump over into the complex. Now, the first building that we saw, we thought, okay, we'll leave this one to last, because when we get into the complex, it is huge. There's like maybe 10 or 12 massive buildings. Everything's in like fairly good condition, which is kind of like confusing as to why it's been abandoned. And so we're walking around, we're going in and out of different buildings, but as I'm going around, I don't feel so comfortable. I mean, in a lot of these places, like you go, you explore, they're pretty filled with trash and whatnot, but there's something like eerie about this place. But like trying to be men, trying to be big strong men, kind of like I was brushing it off, didn't let Luke know that I wasn't feeling so comfortable, but there was just, I had this feeling like I was being watched. I kept having to like look over my shoulder and look in the doorways that we'd just been in and whatnot. And so we come into one room that looks kind of like it was prison cells or something. Like, I still don't know what this place was. Maybe it was like a former like military place or whatnot. And so we go into different buildings, walking around, and we come to one room, and on the wall of the room is like a brace, and it's a brace at like neck height, and it's like newly fitted to the building. It has like a leather strap and a place where you could like put a padlock. And again, we just brush it off. Don't worry about that shit, doesn't matter, just fucking keep exploring. And so finally we come to the first building that we've seen, but the last building that we wanted to explore. And we're walking around, we go up all the way onto the roof, and on the roof there are these ginormous birds' nests, and it's pretty interesting, pretty cool. We come back down, and then we've only got maybe 3 or 4 more rooms in this building left to go and explore. And we come into one of them, and from the floor to the ceiling, it is stacked with empty tins of cat food. Now, it doesn't sound too weird, but the scale of it was maybe like 12 feet high pile, and maybe 10 or 12 feet long and across. And so they range from being rusted and old all the way to like brand new. And so it's a bit freaky. We're like, fuck it, okay, we've got a few more rooms to explore, and then we think maybe we can get out of this building a different way. And so we go down this set of stairs, and at the bottom of the set of stairs, it curls round. At the bottom of the set of stairs is a baby's push pram, and in the push pram is a teddy, which is like ripped open, and it has like blood stains on it. It's like covered in like crusted red. So we're in pretty much the fucking basement. The door at the bottom is locked, and so me and Luke look at each other. Right, okay, let's get the fuck out of this place now. This is a bit fucking freaky. So we come back up into the cat food room, and we're walking out, and we both like turn, like we stop, and we turn, and the cans are like piled all the way up into the ceiling. But in the ceiling, there's like a dark space, like an alcove, and like it's so dark that you couldn't see into it. And I get this bit of a chill, and then out of nowhere, well, out of this space, came the most bone-chilling scream, and it was a scream like I've never heard before. It sounded like a mixture of a cat and a person, or a bat. It was just this shuddering, yeah, and like like a curious white guy in a horror film. I was just like, I want to find out what the fuck that is. So like I reach for my torch, and just as I'm about to flick the light and walk towards this alcove, Luke is like, fuck this shit, and he just runs out of the building. And yeah, all my courage went away with Luke as well, so I just literally sprint out of there as well. And so we're sprint out of this complex, literally scale that wall and jump over it as quick as possible, get our bags and walk away. And like to this day, I have no idea what the fuck was in that alcove. I'm so curious. The whole complex was so confusing because, like I say, it was in good working condition. People could have lived there. They could have been renovated. It was beautiful. There was like orange trees growing there. It's fun. It was stunning. And so like I have a few theories. Like I think, like imagine if it was like a bastard child, some unfortunately retarded child that the parents were too ashamed or whatever to keep this kid, or maybe it was like a military experiment, or who the fuck knows. Like I'm so confused by it. But that's the tins of cat food, like I say, from rusted and rotten all the way to like they could have been put there that day fresh. And yeah, that is one of the weirder things that has happened to me on my travels. Like I've spoken to Luke about it a couple of times afterwards, and yeah, he's still pretty freaked out about it as well. Well, yeah, I hope you liked that one. Hope it freaked you out as much as it fucking freaks me out. And so yeah, today there's not really much to do. Maybe I was jamming with a guy last night, and he really likes his drum and bass and neurofunk, and he was telling me that there's a couple of clubs not too far away from my hostel that play it. So possibly I'll have a little look, see if I can find some good music to go and listen to. I'll try and stay away from the alcohol this time because it's not really been serving me so good. And yeah, there's a few other stories that I'd like to tell you, but it'd be nice if you gave me a bit of input as to what you'd like to hear. I've got some pretty good stories from Morocco, pretty good stories about psychedelics. I've got some pretty good stories. So just kind of let me know what you want to hear. If you're enjoying the stories, then that's fucking great. And the more feedback I get from you guys, like the more inspiration I'm getting to like keep doing this vlog and to keep powering on with it. Because been pretty fun for me. It's given me something a little bit like creative to think about, like planning, like what I'm gonna say and how to construct the stories and whatnot is really good for me, because I do a lot of writing, but stupidly I do most of my writing on my phone and I fucking don't back it up. And in the past, like since I've been traveling, I've lost now 3 phones. I lost fucking probably the first 70 pages of my novel that I was writing. I've lost so many poems and spoken word and stupid raps and stuff. But this is a good way for me to like document it and also kind of like expand a little bit on my stories. So if you'd like to hear more, please let me know. And if you'd like to hear, maybe I could do some freestyling for you. Maybe I could do some spoken word. I'm trying my best to get better on the ukulele, and I'm trying to like draw. I'm trying to start creating on the artwork. I'm still doing my juggling. I'm still working on the fire stuff, building up the confidence to light it up and actually do some proper performance with it rather than just like playing around. So yeah, all the love is appreciated. Thank you so much to the people that have like messaged me in the past few days, particularly after the last vlog where like I wasn't feeling so great. All the encouragement I get from you guys is so appreciated. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out what I'm doing, still trying to plow on and figure out kind of what's happened to me in the past few weeks, because I don't know what happened in that relationship. I don't know really what I did wrong. I know I made quite a lot of mistakes, and maybe I took this girl for granted a little bit, which is kind of something that I'll have to contemplate. But yeah, I'm still looking for that love, still looking for that intimacy. So yeah guys, thank you as always for watching. Thank you for all your support and love, and fucking peace.